anything like that. Wide right. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program. And here's your host, Dave McDonald.
Thank you very, very much. Holy Moses, mother of pearl. Yes, sir. Stumbling, bubbling, Eastside Dave McDonald here, a.k.a. Davey Mac. And it is the Davey Mac Sports Program. On a July the something 2011. Here we are with Chris Pepper Stanley.
Oh, hey.
And the Sean O. And the Roy. And we're going to work our way through it. Another one in the line of a brilliant shows and things and painkillers and cracked ribs. I'm not going to lie to you. Davey Mac, he's usually 110%. Where is he today? He's about 34%.
Oh, Dave.
Okay? And I'll tell you one thing.
What's that?
You have those dumbbells. You got to be careful. I had my whole system set out.
You gotta get ripped.
Where I take the dumbbells and I jump up and down like 1960s Jack LaLanne.
With the knees locked, right?
Yeah, knees
Lock
locked.
those knees.
Up and down.
Up and down.
And I felt my left shoulder twinge. At one point, the dummy that I am, I went to grab my shoulder, forgetting that there were dumbbells in my hands, and it ended up somehow, magically, slamming the dumbbells into my stomach. Yeah. So that's 40 pounds of weights. Both dumbbells went into my stomach. And now listen, a doctor has not, clinically diagnosed me and saying that I have cracked ribs. It's a self-diagnosis.
All right.
It's something that I feel.
Self-medicate then.
Well, listen. Again, I'm not saying that painkillers weren't ingested. Somehow the wife keeps them around, like they're, Skittles on your grandma's candy dish.
Crush them
in
up.
the living room.
Crush them up.
So that's what we do. That's how we do's it.
Okay.
Now listen, at least the air conditioning in the car was fixed. That's one good issue.
All right.
But well, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Air. Cold air. Cold air. Okay, that's enough. Now, what the hell? I mean, that's the way to begin a sports show.
Well,
That's how it goes.
Seriously.
So I am going to apologize to the audience right now because they understand that the Davey Mac Sports Program, we're on a run now. We've been doing this, Pepper? I mean, Pepper and I have been the original guys since 1983, October.
83. Uh-huh.
And
been a hell of a
Sean
run.
Roy, they came in, by the way, on the latest video snippet for the Davey Mac Sports Program where we take, where Roy, I'll give Roy credit there, takes a little video footage. Then we sync it up with the audio and we release it to you, the Davey Mac Sports Program fans.
That's how it's done.
The 10,000 Davyiacs who are out there, the Dog Pound, the Davies, and the Dave Pound.
Where Dave's at.
And you can see all those videos on EastsideDaveCountry.com. Check out either the latest video or video gallery. Anyway, I went and I looked at one of the videos there, and then I went to the YouTube, the comments section, and
you can comment on YouTube's?
yeah,
Wow.
people can comment, and they wrote, I like Dave, I like Pepper, I don't know what those other two guys do.
It's true.
Get rid of them.
All right.
No,
Wait, people
I'm
are
going to
mean?
defend.
I wrote that.
No, I don't doubt it. Because you guys have this weird sadistic, let's insult our own work mentality. Not the Dave man. I like everyone to fall in line, compliments only, thumbs up only.
Nazi.
That's right.
So did you delete that
I'm
comment?
part German. Don't forget about
You're
that.
a positivity Nazi.
Yes, I am.
All
And
right.
so,
That's a good spin on it.
and I'll tell you something else too. We need, speaking of positivity, You go to iTunes.com if you're listening.
Yeah.
You click on the 5 stars.
Do us a favor.
You click on your favorite. You click on subscribe, or you go to Stitcher.com. You click on a star, and you click on a thumbs up.
Give it a
and you
thumbs
say,
up.
whichever one you're listening to. Sean, no, you listen on the Stitcher.
Love the Stitcher.
And I still listen on the old iTunes. But anyway, whatever one, because some people say, oh, it doesn't work. Either Stitcher or iTunes, one of those will work. That's a guarantee. One of them will work. So you recommend it, and we need you to go out to your little ingrate, maggot, nothing, nobody friends.
Yeah.
You go on your Facebook and you start spreading around this show.
You
Okay?
talking to us?
And yeah, I'm talking to you three, but I'm also talking to the fine folks at home in Radioland. We need some help. Remember, we used to have. Listen, I mean, well, we had one sponsor, Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
A nice 6-week run.
Ridiculous points.
I was in the tank for minus 3,000, and now I think I get calls in the middle of the night from Ridiculous saying I owe them points.
Yeah.
As if they're like
that
a
happens.
credit card company.
Well, basically they are.
Listen, the point is, start spreading this word around, for crying out loud, folks. Now, and what I was going to say is, however, maybe not spread this show around because I feel like it might be a little bit insane. I am not feeling good.
Perfect.
But I was going to actually cancel out for the first week in Davey Mac Sports Program history.
My God.
Like I said, October
I didn't know about
1983, we've been doing it.
Yeah.
And I said, I just don't feel good.
8 years.
28. 28 years this October, 27 years right now.
Yeah.
And I said, I just don't feel good. First of all, I have 19 cracked ribs. Secondly, my left shoulder is dislocated.
Yeah,
I still have an earache from going to a wonderful pool party during the summer. I'm not going to drop names. Anthony.
Thanks for not dropping any names.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the very definition.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I wet the bed 2 nights ago.
I did that too.
Not sleeping because I've been watching my kids for the last 5 days. My wife's finally home, and I said till they're about 14 or 15 years old, I'm gonna have nothing to do with these animals. I'm gonna come home from work, go up to my bedroom, and watch Oliver Stone movies. Okay, because that's just the good thing about Oliver Stone movies is they really tick the time away. Like I sat down and watched the Nixon and JFK doubleheader.
Oh my God.
And I think 2 weeks had passed by the time I was finished. So that's a nice time killer right there. Usually I time kill with the sports because I love the sports. But I'm just saying, I'm a little under the weather. Syphilis.
Wait, so when did you get syphilis?
Lyme's disease.
Lyme disease, not
Yeah,
Lyme's.
Lyme's. No, actually, the limes in my refrigerator have little bouts of cancer.
You got the gout?
I have everything at this point.
You got the gout.
So I'm not feeling great. But listen, we're here. We're going to dredge through it, if that's a word.
Somehow.
Now, the Allstar Game was on last night, and the Homerun Derby was on the night before. Okay? Thoughts and opinions are this. The Homerun Derby took almost as long as my Oliver Stone doubleheader. My God. And
It was a week and a half.
I am saying this as someone who has always loved those 2 days. I'm a sports fan. Davey Mac Sports Program. I still don't, I'm not all cynical about the dunk contest. I still watch that. Obviously, the Pro Bowl is nonsense.
Joke.
Let's face it. Yeah, that's just nonsense. But I always liked the baseball, All-Star weekend, if you will. And I went to tape it. I even say, give a 30-minute extension. The DVR asks you whenever it's a live event, do you want to put a 30-minute extension on this or an hour or something? I said 30-minute extension will be fine. It's already in there for about 3 hours. My 30-minute extension went, and I still didn't see the final round.
You didn't get to see Cano.
I didn't get to see Robinson, don't you know, Cano, and Yankee, and then Red Sox Adrian Gonzalez slug it out. The insane amount of rounds with this thing. It's all about the rounds.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's like the NBA Finals now.
You can't have so many rounds. It's too much. Okay, 8 guys make the home run derby. They have a first round where all 8 get to hit as many home runs in,
now they're
in 10
captains
outs.
too now,
Now
right?
they're
Yeah.
captains. Dave Ortiz and Prince Fielder were captains.
Yeah.
Then here's the big problem. Then a second round where they whittle it down to 4 guys. At that point, Now, by the time it gets to the final round, we've seen Cano and Adrian Gonzalez hit baseballs for about 2 hours. Just those two guys alone.
That's great.
Are just sitting there hitting baseballs all the time. And as a result, they wonder what's going on. How come people aren't into it? Listen, enough! One round!
All right.
One round,
Just one?
10
How about-
contestants.
What about two? 2 rounds.
No. I'm willing to do this then. If you really want to do that,
Yeah.
one round where it's 8 contestants, then go to the finals and have, one-on-one. Get rid of the second round and maybe even have the final round be only 5 outs as opposed to the full 10. But really, I like my idea, which is 10 contestants, 1 round, my friends.
Winner
That's
take
it.
all.
That's it.
Yep.
Because that gives instant drama. That's what all these sports that add more games and add more playoff teams and add more series and add
Ribs, Dave.
and football.
Why are you
We
screaming?
might make 18 games. I mean, what are you doing?
That's
Less is more.
That can't happen. They can't put that through.
They're going to try. Enough. Doesn't that make it instantly better? 1 round, 10 contestants, 5 obviously from the
death.
NL, 5 from the National League. That's it. That's the end of the story right there. Maybe even you do just very simply, the top 4 guys, home run hitters in one league, maybe the top 4 guys in the other league, and then you let 1 representative from the home field also hit. See what I'm saying? The game was in Arizona, so you let one Diamondback hit.
Yeah.
Because the Diamondback
Well,
fans
that's
were
fair.
upset. Because this, Upton, BJ, or one of the other Upton brothers, the Upton brother that's good, because the other one's gone to tank since his 2008 playoff run with since the series with the Rays. He wanted to hit. He actually wanted to be on the National League team in the Home Run Derby, but Prince Fielder didn't choose him. He chose his teammate. Okay?
That's sad.
All right. 1 round.
I can get behind that.
All right, we'll shoot the memo over.
Shoot it to Chris Berman. That's another thing. I don't want that fatso to be a part of these contests anymore. I am sick of the fatness. I am sick of the fake hair that he's doing. Basically, he looks to me like a fat Jeff Van Gundy at this point with the fake hair. We all know you're bald. Why are you going this route? You're a sports
He's
commentator.
old school. He'll rock the toupee. It's
Why?
hysterical. That's great. I love to see it toupee.
You're a sports guy. You don't need it. You don't need to look good.
He should just put lopside on his head.
He should wear like a
crazy fat disheveled man. Best thing ever.
or one of those Davy Crockett hats would be
Okay,
nice.
sure.
Just
Raccoon
something.
hat, yeah.
Or a Nikolai Volkov Russian hat on his head, and then tell everyone that that's actually his hair. Say that's the new look.
This is it.
He's like kid in play.
I'm stumbling, blumbling, kid and play. Whatever, Chris Berman. His little partners, it was just a nightmare. So that happened. I'm telling you, by the time that the All-Star Game took place the next night, I was literally burnt out. I was still burnt out from the Home Run Derby. I didn't want to see any more of that Arizona field with the pool in it. And
It's so
having
stupid
to
looking.
hear
Why is there a pool?
That this is what, like Sesame Place Stadium, where we're gonna put pools in a baseball field.
Yeah, screen machine in
Who
there.
gets to sit there anyway?
Just very rich Arizonians. That's who gets to sit there.
Worst kind of rich person.
We're talking Meghan McCain, and we're talking probably 3 of the starting lineup of the Phoenix Suns. That who gets those seats.
That's exclusive.
Yeah. And with the home run balls going into the pool, and look at the guy in the pool, and it's not funny
It's
anymore.
fine. Look, it's fine. He's
But it's not.
No, he's going to jump in the pool, though.
It was.
Look, he's getting wet for a baseball.
He's doing laps.
He's helping.
Wait a minute. He's not watching
He
the
just
game.
did a cannonball, holding a beer, and caught a baseball. He's the greatest fan of all time. That's what one of the ESPN people said, because there was
Yeah,
a guy
he was
who had a
rocking a beer.
glove. He had a beer. He jumped into the pool, caught the ball, and kept the beer up.
That does sound pretty cool.
That's impressive.
I gotta say.
He had a glove on.
Wow.
I could, come on. I mean, I would be like the guy in Hurt Locker. I could defuse a bomb if you gave the Dave man a glove. by the time you're 33 years old, you don't bring a glove to a baseball game. That's just silliness.
I'll give you that.
Okay? Unless you're Freddy Krueger.
Zing.
Then you have to bring your glove everywhere. Now, let me tell you something. Listen, pain pills,
Random ref.
okay? That there is an excuse
You're
for that.
pilling. That's all.
I'm peeling. I'm like a banana peel.
No, pilling.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the All-Star Game occurs, and I say to myself, don't know why, because I don't really care about modern horror movies. I like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
70s, 80s stuff.
I like Freddy Krueger, who just got a second shout out of the
All right,
day.
big ups, big ups.
Okay, Sasson Hassenbacher. Okay. Because whenever Freddy Krueger gets 2 or more mentions, that's what accompanies his name.
That doggone Sanzenbacher.
So Freddy gets that sounder for himself. So, whatchamacallit. So I decide, okay, you know what, though? Hostel 2 is on.
Oh, man, it's so bad.
And since
It's so terrible.
Wait, so since I got, I saw the first... Well, I was so into Inglourious Bastards and anything
So you
Tarantino.
got into Eli Roth?
Exactly.
Okay,
well,
that's-
no, I said after Inglourious Bastards, I go, well, I want to know more about the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, I didn't even know. Someone said, well, do you know that guy's just a horror filmmaker?
Yeah,
he's
so-
not even an
yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
I go, oh, really? What was he made? He made Hostel. So I actually
Well,
picked up
he was in the bar at
in Inglourious Bastards.
No, he was also in. He was in Jesus.
He was in Jesus?
Grindhouse. He was in Grindhouse too. He had-
Oh,
he had
I
a
don't
bit
remember
role.
that.
Yeah.
Which bar? Which one?
When
the Tarantino one?
Yeah, the Tarantino
Oh, okay,
one,
okay.
yeah.
I remember the bar scene. So I go, I didn't know that. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'll get into the Eli Roth. And Tarantino actually produces these movies.
he loves them. He loves Eli
Okay.
Roth.
So I got the first Hostel, when I was working in the city, and I had it on my little DVD player, taking the bus home. I thought it was fun.
It's fun.
I thought,
okay.
I the one thing I would say is it did sort of remind me of those stupid 70s, 80s horror movies that I like, which is just complete carnage and make no apologies.
Very gory. Yeah.
Keep the gore and don't add like
And nudity.
flickering lights and MTV special effects where the camera's got to turn to the side and people are inverted. That's where the modern horror movies lose me. I thought I liked the style of the Eli Roth. So Hostel 2 was on, and I go, I'm going to flip back and
check
forth.
this out.
So I was flipping back and forth between Hostel 2 and the All-Star Game.
B.J.
Now-
Phillips.
Now, yeah, I forgot about her. I didn't even recognize her at first. She looked different to me, but then I quickly knew it was her. I think she got her teeth done because she used to
Possibly.
have like sort of jewel teeth.
Snaggletooth?
Attractive girl.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, did have like that kind of teeth look.
She's great in
and
Havoc.
doesn't have that anymore.
Great and bully.
Bully. That's the scene that I was thinking of as well. So one of the two programs between Hostel 2 and the All-Star Game started with the murder of 6 people, including a little girl, and it was the All-Star Game that began their delightful ceremony
Oh, yeah, that's right.
talking to us about the Jared Loeffner thing,
Oh, God.
and everyone stand up because 6 people were shot, and let's just bring this place to a complete pause, and everyone think about people who were just murdered, including a little girl. And trust
Think about
me,
it.
When I have children, so I am not at all. I feel my heart is ripped out when you have a crime perpetuated against a kid. But this brings me to my point. Sporting events. Stop it! Stop it already with every sporting event. The NBA Finals had to have some maimed or dead soldier before every NBA Final game, and
support
Dirk
the troops.
Nowitzki giving the family like a little pair of sneakers or something, as if that's going to make anything any better. You have the Super Bowl, it's just berserk with the patriotic and stuff like that. You have the World Series always, here's a guy who has 3 heads and no legs, and he's going to come out and sing the national anthem.
know
That
if
guy
that
was
ever
that guy
happened.
was good.
He was in tune. But my point is, you don't need this anymore. Every single sporting event now, big sporting event, needs the death thing before now we have to play a baseball game.
Yeah, that was where they marched the family out onto the field.
It's terrible.
It's
great.
Everyone
And
looked.
I felt genuinely bad for them. But now it's like I don't even want to watch the All-Star game. Honestly, I flipped over to Hostel Part 2.
What'd you think of it?
I said I went to a horror movie to cheer me up. You talk about insane. And I liked it.
Really?
I thought it was fun.
I hated it.
You didn't like it as much as the first
Oh
one?
no, I like the first one much better.
I liked the first one better because you didn't know it. I mean, they literally did the exact same. The last 45 minutes are literally the same thing.
Same movie. Yeah.
Where they're in the factory and they have to escape, and how are they going to escape? But there were certain things. I like the fact that the nerd guy of those two middle-aged guys.
Spoiler alert.
I liked how the nerd guy ended up being a sadistic kind of torturer,
Psycho.
and the guy who was supposed to be the tough guy
couldn't do
couldn't
it.
kill the
Yeah.
girl. But didn't mean he didn't at least try to take a buzzsaw to poor Bijou Phillips' head.
Oh, it's so
it was just her hair got caught in the wheel
Blade rolled,
blade, and that made her kind of lobotomized.
Which is nice.
Sort of a a homegrown lobotomy. So I had to go to Hostel Part 2 just to kind of refresh, energize the batteries and whatnot, then go back to the All-Star Game. And the All-Star Game still is talking to me about the fan. I mean, another terrible story. The dad's at the at the ball game with his kid.
Yeah,
Josh
the
Hamilton
Rangers game.
throws it
Yeah.
into the stands.
He falls
I
off.
didn't even hear about the Josh Hamilton part of the story till a couple days later. If people are wondering what I'm talking about, Josh Hamilton threw a ball into the stands, just as a souvenir.
End of an inning.
End of an inning type of situation. The dad reaches out for the ball, falls over the railing, drops 20 feet, and dies right there. Meanwhile, his 8-year-old son is still in the stadium
seats.
and has just saw his father plummet to his death. The drop wasn't like a scary, like from the upper deck thing.
It was a bad fall.
They were in the outfield and it looked like he kind of went to like a bullpen area. But, oh my God, just a terrible story. So that's a story that came up.
Yeah.
After the 6 people who were shot, the Jared Loeffner rampage, then we got to hear about that. I couldn't do it. I said I might have to stick with Hostel Part 2 all the time.
Hey, it's women now instead of dudes in Hostel Part 2.
It was crazy. And by the way, Joe Buck, he reminds me of one of those Hostel Part 2 people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't know this, but if we check what he does during the offseason, he probably makes trips to Slovakia all the
You think
time.
he's doing a little acting on the side?
Tortures the hell. No, I'm saying he's torturing people in Europe.
Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe?
Amsterdam.
Okay.
Life is so cheap there.
Well, that was more specific.
Yeah.
It just
Sprechen
seemed.
Deutsch.
Well, didn't he almost feel like one of those guys?
He reminds me of the in the first one, the old guy that eats salad with his hands. That's that's who he is.
He's a very strange character. Now, Pepper, you said Justin Timberlake took a shot at Joe Buck or something.
Yeah, apparently Joe Buck had like some sort of infection in his throat.
So that because we've been wondering, or I specifically have been wondering, what's going on with Joe Buck, that he doesn't sound like himself anymore.
Yeah.
And not only that, but to me, it sounds like he's just lost the will to live. Certainly does not want to be around baseball. To me, he sounds way better these days during when he's broadcasting a football game.
And
All
here's
right.
JT at the game.
So this is Timbi, Justin Timberlake?
yeah,
I call him Timbi.
Timbi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, fellas. I'm down here in the pool area with the star of the upcoming comedy, Friends with Benefits. Welcome, Justin Timberlake. How you doing, brother?
Joe Buck, you're calling a great game,
Thanks,
Joe.
he always does.
Just a classy guy with a classy voice.
He's taking shots.
Now,
So
you-
he's
your
mocking
first
Joe Buck?
All-Star game.
He's saying
right.
he's not
And-
classy?
And did you ever think you'd
That's
be in a
sarcasm?
swimming pool?
Yeah, he's
I
being
know.
so-
When they
I
said
don't get
they
it.
want
What's
you to go
their
down there and be
feud?
interviewed by the pool,
I don't know.
said,
I think he's drunk or just messed up or something. I
Why
don't
don't
know.
we come over?
upset
I
about
like the
come over
fact
here
that
and
he's
get a
taking
shot
shots
of
at
the
Joe
pool.
Buck.
Well-
I'm now a Timby fan.
You're a Timby fan now?
Well, he always was bringing the sexy back. I felt like, without him, the sexy would be lost
Yeah.
a long time
Or
ago.
never came back.
No, he's all over the sexy.
He just loves to bring it back.
Thank God.
You got to be careful because if you start losing your sexy, forget it. But I guess we
there's
do
the
have
pool.
Timby. Yeah, so I guess you asked what kind of clientele go over there. So that's who, Timby. is in the pool area drinking beer and then just trying to be one of the guys. Obviously, his movie is produced by Fox because there's no way Timberlake would be in a pool, with Mark Grace.
And regular people.
Yeah, so Joe Buck, I hate him. He's a piece of garbage. And he's always mean to Tim McCarver.
Wow, JT, your voice has changed.
No, it hasn't. So that's part of the All-Star Game. And, it's sort of, I don't know. The All-Star Game needs major changes. A lot of us can't figure out what to do there. But so many people missing the All-Star Game. It was a bit of a big deal. I'm not going to take shots at Derek Jeter. And remember, we talked about Derek Jeter last week. One. And remember, Derek Jeter. Yeah, I am the only one.
No, it's crazy. The people are just killing him.
I'm with you, Davey Mack.
Everyone is just crushing this poor man. And this is before, when we talked about him last week, it was well before he went for 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
Gets it with a home run. Gets the game go-ahead RBI single.
5 for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
We were saying, hey, watch out for Jeter because maybe once he puts the 3,000 behind him, he'll start playing well, this or that. And no one takes back what they said. Everyone, he's still done. And then the guy said, listen, I'm just drained. I'm done. I can't go to the All-Star Game. But baseball's got to figure out, listen, if these guys aren't going to play, they have to go there. And baseball has to pick up the tab, get him a private jet, and just simply fly him out. You say you barely, just put on your uniforms. Don't even put on your cleats. Just
socks.
Yeah. Just literally just put on even the Yankee jersey and the hat. You can wear Bermuda shorts under it for all we care.
Nice.
And go out there and wave to the fans. You don't have to play. But they need to do something. Because with no Jeter, no A-Rod, no Chipper. I mean, it was losing. There was so many good, all-time All-Stars who could not attend. It did feel weak this year. I got to be honest with you.
A-Rod's getting, knee surgery?
Yeah.
Yes. He had a torn meniscus. Same injury that Davey Mack had, by the way.
Just the other day with the dumbbells.
No, that was my rib injury, Sean.
Oh, I thought you had them all on the same day.
When I was in high school playing first base, in fact, I had it was like one of those kind of chintzy little ground balls to the first baseman. Mm-hmm. He fielded it. I run through the bag because
that's what you do.
That's how you play baseball.
That's right.
The first baseman
tackled you.
No etiquette.
Pulls a knife.
He also ran through the first base. So we both ran through the first base,
collided,
and our knees hit each other, and we both were knocked out. I had to get. It was my same injury as A-Rod. I had my meniscus tear. Had to get arthroscopic surgery.
Did you trade like places with that guy at that point? Like, did your lives all of a sudden you were in his body, he was in yours?
Still to this day, still to this day, the real soul of David McDonald is in a kid named Kevin Browning who plays for Middletown North on baseball. Used to play.
I told you, Pepper.
That was a long time ago.
I look stupid.
$1.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, listen, you guys, you gotta pick it up. We can't have this. Because you know why? You know why we can't have this?
Why not?
Because it wasn't too long ago that the All-Star Game was still fun. Everyone wants to harken back to the Pete Rose, Ray Fosse incident in the early 70s. Or, they always want to go way back in time. Listen, just in 1999 at Fenway, when Ted Williams and his frozen head came out onto the field, and Mark McGwire was in the Homerun Derby hitting those balls out into the streets of Boston. Yeah. It was one of the coolest moments of all time. That wasn't that long ago. It was 1999. Okay, we've had some great All-Star moments. The guy, Torrey Hunter, robbing Barry Bonds of a home run was a great moment. We've seen a lot. So let's get it together now, baseball. Start thinking about this thing. Enough with adding people, adding teams. Concentrate on your All-Star Game. It's a great American tradition, but we need to revamp it a little bit, okay? That's all. And God bless you, Justin Timberlake, for calling Joe Buck a big, thin a-hole. God bless you.
Wow, really like JT now.
Timbi.
Timbi.
Yeah.
I call him Timbi.
Oh.
I'll tell you one thing who wouldn't put up with it is Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger would not be putting up with any of Timbi's nonsense.
That doggone Satzenbacher.
That's right. So listen, it's the Davey Mac Sports Program. Eastside Dave McDonald, a.k.a. Davey Mac. And Chris Peppa Stanley.
Hey.
Sean O. And Roy. And we got it all here, folks. EastsideDaveCountry.com. Keep it here.
Get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth can be fed. Oh, me Israelites, get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth can be fed. Oh, me Israelites.
Davey Mac Sports Program, Eastside Dave McDonald, a.k.a. Davey Mac, Chris Peppa Stanley, Peppy Hamburger.
That's right.
Shono Roy. I thought Roy's thing was going to be the John Gruden thing. Weren't we also going to hit his the Schwarzenbacher for Roy? Because everyone needs their own catchphrase.
That doggone Satzenbacher.
That's right. God darn Schwarzenbacher. All right, so we talked about the All-Star Game. As much as this music is fantastic, and it is. I mean, let's face it. The Davey Mac Sports Program studios here at the Skinny Man offices right in the heart of Times Square is getting smokier by the second. And we could listen to Israelites all night long. But why listen to a song that's about people from Israel when you can listen to a song specifically about the Davey Mac Sports Program? This was composed by one of the big fans of the show. His name is Joe Liga, who, by the way, got in touch with me through the old Gmail, didvod, D-I-D-V-O-D, at gmail.com.
Oh.
That's right. Okay, here you go. Or Facebook.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
That's right.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Now here comes the verses, I'm assuming.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Right. All right.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program. It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
So there you have it. And let's just face it. I mean, that's what you folks wanted to hear. And we should probably, we should just cut the show off right now. End it
done.
with that.
Done.
Because I'm telling you, it's not going to get better than that.
Done.
We'll go back to Joe Liga's beautiful Davey Mac Sports Program composition in just a bit. But we do have to cover some sports. And this James Harrison, boy, oh boy, he's an angry man.
A little bit. Never really thought that about him before this today.
No, all those headshots he gives to quarterbacks and whatnot. No. You don't really think of him being, a bit testy. But, he is doing some sort of article somewhere. Some
Men's Health, I think.
Men's magazine, Men's Health, remember. Something like that. He says Roger Goodell, he's a crook and a puppet. He said, I was the dirtiest player in the league. If that man was on fire and I had to piss to put him out, I wouldn't do it. I hate him and will never respect him. My argument would be, but what if he really did have to go to the bathroom? I mean, he's right there. He could end up kind of saving the guy's life.
And I don't think he would.
And he gets to pee on him. I mean.
And by the way, when ESPN showed us this story, they took out the word piss. And in parentheses, they said urinate.
Oh.
Now, I don't think piss is a bad word. And again, it's not like you're having one of your Sports Center airhead anchors just all of a sudden randomly say piss. it would be in context where he would say, if Goodell was on fire and I had to piss to put him out, I wouldn't do it. He also said this about Ben Roethlisberger, specifically throwing 2 interceptions in last year's Super Bowl. Quote, hey, at least throw a pick on their side of the field instead of asking the D to bail you out again, or hand the ball off and stop trying to act like Peyton Manning. You ain't that, and you know it, man. You just get paid like he does.
Oh.
End quote. I know there's a lockout right now. Yeah. He is going to have to face those guys again.
I don't think he's just out of his mind. He's lost it. He's just pissed.
Then he also called their running back, what's his face, Rashard Mendenhall. He called him a fumble machine.
That's the greatest term I've ever heard.
I kind of like that because it sort of made him sound like if R2-D2 turned over the ball a lot on the football field, that there's Mendenhall being the fumble machine. So, he's not... Listen, I like the fact that he's outspoken and he gives us some quotes. And a million guys, they never say what's on their mind. But again, he's going to have to see Roethlisberger again. Yeah. Now, I'm cool with these comments as long as he doesn't start saying, well, I did that interview months ago, and it was taken out of context, and this and that.
I don't think you can take that out of context.
Well, he better not. I don't want any apologies. I don't want anything for him. I don't want him to in any way backtrack from these statements. At the same time, does he not forget? Now, listen, he made that incredible run in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's raining.
It's raining really hard.
It's end of days outside.
Okay. All right. It's raining very hard in New York City. But these guys are acting like they've never seen water before.
It's crazy.
This is 3 people who I'm trying to talk to. We're just like, look, there's water outside hitting our windows.
Sheets of rain.
It's falling from the sky, Dave.
Somehow our giant building has now been transported into a car wash because there's rain on our windows.
Kind of like that.
What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
That doggone Sanzenbacher.
You got that right, Gruden. I mean, for crying out loud. Yeah, it's raining. We've seen it before.
All right, it's coming down now.
Gosh.
Okay. Thank you for acknowledging it.
Now, my point about this was James Harrison.
Yeah.
He forgot that in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals, who was it but the defense who let Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald score on a gigantic play from scrimmage, putting the Cardinals in the lead, making it look like the Cardinals were about to pull off one of the great Super Bowl robberies of all time. Roethlisberger had to go down the field and bail out. Literally, the words that Harrison said, it was Roethlisberger who had to bail out the defense in the Super Bowl. So, hey, stupid, let's remember who bailed out who first.
That Harrison doesn't have a very good memory.
And Roethlisberger bails out not only his defense, the offensive line all the time when he basically tackles.
It takes
he scrambles and takes down 300-pound defensive linemen. He shoves them to the ground and then ultimately completes the pass to Hines Ward, your Dancing with Stars champion, who's now on DUI charges.
That's Dewey, yeah. Good for him.
And now the word on the street is that he was actually dancing on the stars while intoxicated.
Oh.
Which is something that can get you arrested not only by the police but by ABC.
Why would you drink and be on that show?
Now let's take 2 seconds out and listen to Davey Mac Sports Program song again, and then look at the rain one last final time.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
So it's raining in the Davey Mac Sports Program. It's light in studio.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
So
here comes the sun.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Oh, okay.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
I hope people are putting this song on your iPod as we speak.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program.
And you know what we could do is have a little sounder. And then like somehow every time, I don't even know if this is feasible, but when I tweet, hey, it's the Davey Mac Sports Program, this week's episode is up on twitter.com/EastsideDave. somehow that song gets played. I don't even know if that's feasible.
We'll figure it out.
So there you go with the James Harrison. Now, James Harrison, was that a president's name? Just out of curiosity. Again, this is probably the painkillers talking, not necessarily your beloved host, Davey Mack. But James Harrison, there was a Harrison as a president.
Was it
Andrew Harrison? Are you sure about that, Roy?
Yep. Roy's a scholar.
Roy is okay. So it was Andrew Harrison. There was never a James Harrison as president of the United States of America?
No way.
You want to bet money on that? Because Pepper's looking it up right now. How much do you want to bet?
$3,000?
Okay, I'm not. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that nonsense. Another big story. This USA women's team.
Soccer.
Benjamin Harrison.
Oh, you owe me money. No Andrew Harrison. I knew there was no Andrew Harrison. It was Benjamin Harrison.
Benjamin.
Peppy Hamburger just told her. He got it from his favorite website, wikipedia.org.
And that's accurate.
The women getting the job done.
Rocking and rolling.
Firebrands. Their pistols. They got it done for America, I guess. Now, most of America, let's be honest, did not see the game against Brazil.
No.
And despite the fact that it was obviously an incredible header by, I'm not familiar. The only women's soccer player who exists for the Dave Man is Mia Hamm. Mm-hmm. I could not tell you most of the other people's names. I guess the one girl sounds like Han Solo's sister. What's her name? Hope Solo. So I kind of like her because it's a Star Warsian name. But the tall girl who was getting criticized earlier in the World Cup for not scoring, she scored the game-winning goal against Brazil with barely any time on the clock, and then the U.S. took it over in penalty kicks. Listen, it's a great moment. It's a nice moment. Let's not get carried away. We have a tendency in this country to only look at what was done in this year or in the calendar year of sports.
There's no memory.
And some people going back as far as saying, listen, this was the best win since 1980, U.S. versus Russia. Do we not remember what kind of context that game was played?
Cold War's still going on.
Hockey?
Against Brazil.
It was Cold War. It was hostage situation. It was gasoline. Prices were skyrocketing. The economy was in the tank.
Boo Russia.
And now we had Russia, who had destroyed every team, including the Americans, in an exhibition game, and they took it. Listen, the World Cup, it's a nice win. I like it, and I like the girls celebrating. I especially forget about the tall girl who headed the ball in. I like the little blonde girl who to me, that was the play. She makes a cross she makes a pass from across the field with her left foot. It was an insane pass. Then today, they just got past France.
3-1.
3-1. It was 1-1 late in the game, though. I think it was tied 1-1 in the 78th minute.
Yeah, and then they scored again.
Same girl. Heads it in off a corner kick, and then another little goal at the end, sort of in garbage time, to give the Americans the 3-1 victory. They will play, what, Japan, is it?
Japan, yeah.
In the championships.
Come on, Japan.
Japan's got a lot of speed. This is what you hear. They got a lot of perseverance.
Tiny, though.
Well, I can't tell you how tall they are, Sean. No, I don't know. I know that girl who keeps heading in the balls has to be around 8 feet 4, because she just looks like a giant compared to all these other girls. It's craziness.
Wait till you see him play Japan.
I can't wait.
Wait,
it's gonna be crazy.
You're gonna have to wait.
I was happy to see France go down,
lose terribly.
The one thing that I was, it was kind of strange is that they said that. People like to root against the U.S. and with the World Cup, they were U.S. They're favorited to win the whole thing, but even the German fans got over to the American side because the game against Brazil, they had they had been screwed with a couple calls by the refs and whatnot. So now Germany pulls an Ivan Drago. Like when he was fighting Rocky in Moscow, And now the German fans, who are all severely anti-American, have now come over to the American side. And once again,
start chanting Rocky.
They were chanting Rocky.
Weird.
And they, when they were playing in the game against France, the Germans were once again rooting for the Americans over France, and then felt like invading France again for the second time.
Sure.
You know, we know when the first time was, Sean O, and it wasn't the World Cup. Okay?
That was World War II.
That's right. World War Cup 2, my friend.
You're drawing those plus signs again. What are you doing?
Yes, they're just plus signs.
Oh, boy.
Now, listen. We haven't talked about it. We feel like we should cover it. But this fatso, Christian Lopez, catching this ball. And now this poor worker for Verizon. That's his job.
Yeah,
so he's not a millionaire. He doesn't own Verizon.
23 years old.
He's 23. And he said he owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. He may have to pay
$15,000 taxes?
$15,000 in taxes because of the $60,000 in tickets and signed balls and jerseys that the Yankees gave him.
But isn't that a gift? Don't you not have to pay taxes on gifts?
I don't know. I'm not sure, because if you win the lottery, you obviously have to pay it.
If you win a car on, if you win a car on like whatever Wheel of Fortune, you're paying.
But it's not a gift. Under $10,000. Oh, under $10,000.
If you win a car on Wheel of Fortune, do you have to pay the taxes?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, you got to pay taxes.
Well, then this is a similar deal.
But it wasn't like he signed up for this. He happened to catch the ball, and he didn't ask for anything in return. He was given this as a gift. And when you're given a gift, I thought that there was some sort of...
Well, what I don't like about it is that he wasn't giving $60,000 in cash. Yeah, as you said, he was given... You know, what if he can't sell the tickets? I mean, just because something is worth $60,000 at that time doesn't mean it will continue to be worth that money. What if the Yankees... the whole thing is he got tickets, this Christian Lopez, throughout... Great tickets. But throughout the rest of the regular season for every game and every game into the postseason, including the World Series. But what if the Yankees don't make the playoffs? What if a million things happen?
Right.
And, signed balls and jerseys, okay, you can make a 1,000 for a signed Derek Jeter ball in 2011, but not... I don't know what the IRS thinks a signed Derek Jeter ball is going for, but I'm telling you...
You have to sell it first,
as someone who had an ex... who worked for one of those sporting memorabilia places, a modern-day baseball player's signature on ball is not worth a ton.
No, not at all.
Everyone does it.
It might be, and he's still playing right now.
Right.
Like, the guy's still playing baseball, so you could go to a game if you got lucky. You go to batting practice, you sneak down to the dugouts, maybe you get a Jeter autograph. That's the point. And that's why the ball isn't worth that much. So I think the IRS... saying they owe him $15,000 on what calculations?
Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But at the same time, this kid, don't be so quick. Take a day or two to think about it. Not at the game when your adrenaline's pumping and you're like, I'm gonna give it to Mr. Jeter. He deserves. What is this with the Mr. Jeter?
Mr. Jeter
First of all, this kid outweighs Mr. Jeter by probably 180 pounds. Jeter should be calling him Mr. Lopez, as far as I'm concerned. And secondly, where's this kid's dad? He was sitting next to him.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid's dad should be all over that saying, and I'm not even saying they have to sell it. I'm just saying we're going to take 24 hours. That's it.
Take a little time. Figure this out.
We're going to take 24 hours. We're going to figure it out.
Get some offers.
And, apparently the Yankees went up to him and said, what do you want? They didn't even, they gave that stuff to him for free. But he could have said, okay, I want season tickets for the rest of the year. Right. Probably season tickets for the next 5 years.
Sure.
Every game, including the postseason World Series.
How much is it worth?
And then throw me $100,000. That's what Dave Mann would have been doing. I would have said, I want tickets to every game for 5 years, 100 G's in my back pocket. And I want Derek Jeter's cleats.
What?
And I want Minka Kelly to give me a kiss on the cheek.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, because that's what our show is about. It's about being sweet. Yeah.
I think
I was always a big Friday Night Lights fan. I know a lot of people didn't watch it, but I loved the movie first, and I loved the show. And obviously, she was a big part of that. Yes, Sean?
I like his. I like the kid's move. I like the fact that he gave it back to Jeter. I think you're right, though, in hearing your point that he should have at least given it 24 hours. I mean, to think about it, to think about what's possible. But I do like. I think it's a good move, classy move, just to be like, I'm gonna give it back to the guy.
But I understand you could say classy, but wasn't there a part where the guy wasn't there a part where it also struck you as maybe a little naive, and a little bit on the strange side of, they're taking advantage of the fatso, they're taking advantage of this kid?
Yeah, probably. I mean, because he was juiced up.
Yeah.
He didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, it's just like, all right, I'm probably going to get this deer now because he's just 3,000 foot wall.
That's right. That's a good point. See, that's what you're saying. So I think that the adrenaline isn't fair because it's like, if Pepper has a winning horse ticket, Pepper's not giving that thing up.
No, I'm going to cash it in and get my winnings.
And why would you cash it? Because you bought the ticket.
And I'm a degenerate gambler.
And that's, I guess, how horse racing is done.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's fair. Whatchamacallit? So the Mets, they have decided that it's over for them.
Close the franchise now?
They might as well.
Finally.
I feel really bad for Mets fans like my wife, but at the same time, I also want her to be tortured for the rest of her life.
That's sweet, too.
It's just a marriage thing where you
Okay.
want to see your spouse endure as much pain as humanly possible before they leave you. Mm-hmm. That's just the way I feel.
If they're going to leave,
I think
might as
I'm
well have them
speaking
leave on a low note.
right. So she's all excited because the Mets are playing surprising good baseball.
First place, right?
They're doing it. No, they're not in first place.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's the internet is readily available with sports stats and
What's the
divisional
internet?
standings.
You sure they're not in first place?
I'm pretty sure that the Phillies aren't first at this point.
All right.
So you have the Mets there, and they trade their closer.
Yeah, got K-Rod out of there.
They got K-Rod. He's gone. They're saying Beltran is next.
Whoa.
They're cleaning house.
And then Reyes.
I think Pepper's right. Just get rid of the whole team.
Close the franchise. Take it
Maybe
away.
Here's my idea: close the Mets down. The Dodgers are in such bad shape. Bring them back to Brooklyn.
Okay.
Everyone's satisfied.
There you
All
go.
right, they-
Casey's
Yeah.
old
Stadium.
grandmother can root for her Dodgers again.
That's nice.
That's a win-win.
And I can take the Mets gear off my kid. My kid, my wife said, "Hey, listen, we're gonna let the kids make their own calls.
them decide
what sports team they like.
Why would you do that?
And she actually pulled this trick on me when I wanted to get him baptized, like good little Irish Catholics that I feel. But of course, her being on the Jewish side of things, she said, "Well, let's let the kid choose." So now she's saying, "Let's let the kid choose what baseball teams they're into." And yet, every day I come home, there is another Mets hat or Mets dress. A pink Mets dress for my little girl.
Ugh.
It hurts, huh?
I don't know how you do it.
It hurts.
It hurts me so much because I told my mom about this. I said,
Beanie.
"Mom, Beanie, you better get on this. You better start buying Yankee garb every time you're at a game, anywhere you go. I don't care if it's a McDonald's Happy Meal or if you're at the liquor store that I go to. I always buy a Yankee lighter when I get my
cool.
beer.
All right.
Yeah, every single time. So at least our kids will have a collection of 40 Bic Yankee lighters.
So when they start smoking, they're not going to be wanting.
That's right. I'm a good father. Don't insinuate anything else.
I'm pro-smoking, Dave. Don't worry.
So my mom says to me, I would buy them Yankee stuff, but I feel like Casey would get mad. Casey's my wife.
Oh,
that's what. So now it's about my wife's feelings
on
instead
Casey's side.
Instead of her youngest child,
the baby boy,
a child who did nothing but love them, nearly burned their house down several occasions. But we don't need to talk about that.
No. Well,
you brought
how'd
it
you burn
up.
it down?
Do you want to be a special guest, Mike?
Sure.
All right, we have a special guest in here because Sean O's been on my case.
I have. Seriously.
Every single night.
Should we play this song for him?
Yeah. While we get Mike set up, we're going to play a very special song. Here you go, Mike. You can take your time.
It's not that big. I'm here already.
It's the Davey Max Sports Program.
Very loud. All right, right, Pepper. He's here, he said.
It's the Davey Max.
He's here.
It's a good song.
I was already seated by the time the music started.
Now, you understand, you're only the second guest on the History of Davey Max Sports program.
Who was the first?
The other first. Remember how Charles Grodin used to go on old school David Letterman? You know, like he would be there all the time. Or Tom Hanks, a great David Letterman star.
Sure,
we have an A-lister like that. His name is Fast Freddy.
Oh, Fast Freddy. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you heard of him. It's a
Fred man.
So, to give a proper introduction, Mike Trainer. Big star on the old True TV.
On True TV and only on True TV.
And your comedy circuits.
Yes, I do a lot of one-nighters. And no,
That's fantastic.
Every once in a while.
We'll have to edit that out.
Oh, we're not doing... Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't know the rules. I just walked in here.
We will edit it out.
Family friendly.
Okay.
Sean or Roy should have told you that.
All right.
So...
Got it. From this point forward. Clean.
Sports.
Starting now.
Do you care for him?
A little bit. You were talking about how people get forced into liking certain teams. I have a friend who's from North Carolina and grew up a Giants fan. I always thought that was very strange. And he told me a good story. He said his dad took him to like whatever the redneck version of Modell's is, where they sell stuff in North Carolina. And he was like, "You're gonna pick a jersey today, and that's gonna be your team. That's your team forever." And like he just
under pressure.
He made him like arbitrarily pointing a jersey. And he picked the Giants, and he's like an adult now and likes the Giants.
Perfect.
Doesn't like the Panthers. He's like, screw them. No, I am a Giants fan.
Now, so this guy is from North Carolina or
North
South
Carolina.
Okay, now why wouldn't the dad didn't care about football at the time?
Well, like, they didn't have a team there, so I guess he was like, just pick your guy and go with it.
I actually haven't even thought about that. If you were pre-Carolina Panthers, but you liked football. And you live down there. What would have been your team? The Dolphins? But it seems like Florida's a little far.
The Ravens.
But the Ravens kind of almost came into the league almost roughly the same.
I'm thinking Falcons. I'm confusing my bird teams.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Thank you. They don't need that much of a close. We have enough footage for the Davey Max video
let's
snippet.
Get some more. Come on.
We take video snippets and then post them online. Oh, yes. You might seen them.
Yes.
How are things going on the old True TV?
They're going good. We're working on new episodes. And it's a show called World's Dumbest on Thursdays at 9 o'clock on True TV.
I've seen it. Pepper and I both love it.
Love it.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you. We recently got we were featured on Sirius and mocked a little bit on the old Howard 100 News.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For how?
Well, we made fun of a whack packer, and then they did a piece on the whack packer and played the clips and just basically said that we weren't funny and that we should have the guy who was doing the story on instead. So it was like a mixed thing. I'm like, I had friends call me being like, "Hey,
that's a good thing."
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
And then I listened to it. I'm like, "Oh, they just,
yeah." Because
not favorable.
Believe it or not, I'm going to say something really shocking here.
Okay,
Howard Stern has a big audience.
Yeah,
I know. That comes as a huge surprise to a lot of people.
It is a big audience,
but he's quite popular. Yeah, I think any mention whatsoever. If they call you the Antichrist, it would be the same thing.
Yeah, sorry that had nothing to do with sports, but
this is the loosest sports show in the history of whatever this is.
Don't say that.
And you go around, you play the clubs around here and everything like that?
Yeah, I'm around in town. I'm on the road a lot. I'll be in Atlanta next weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's why you have the Falcons on your mind all the time.
I can't get that and Coca-Cola. I'm crazy about the whole thing.
Ty Cobb, the Georgia Peach.
Big aquariums that kill whales every 6 months.
All right. Well, Peppy Hamburger is telling me it's time to go. I wish we could have had Mike on for more time. But listen, we make mistakes all the time.
It's all right. Thanks for having me.
I mean, we have just nonsense going on here. Would you like to give a plug, or what can people look at? Or you could do the show again. Would you like to? Whatever.
Either or, giantcomedy.com.
Because
Did I have to choose one? Now I can't come back on the show?
You choose everyone. Have a list of them.
One or the other.
He jokes, of course. Yes. He's a jokester.
Sure.
Pee Wee Herman music?
This is the Pee Wee Herman. People have begun to ask me, where can I get this song?
Does it ruin it for you that we're discussing it? You want to just be like a non sequitur? Like, no one knows what it is?
No, not at all. I'm a gigantic Pee Wee Herman fan. And we used to have a different closing. Our closing theme was actually our opening theme. So it didn't have a lot of creativity. And I saw the Pee Wee Herman on Broadway show. And that made me think, like, gosh, I love Pee Wee so much. And I'm just going to steal your song.
Why not? I'm sure he appreciates it.
Anyway, it's Davey Mac Sports Program. Eastside Dave McDonald, a.k.a. Davey Mac, Chris Pepper Stanley, Sean O, Roy, and we thank Mike Trainer. Go check out the show on Thursdays, True TV, World's Dumbest. Good night, everybody.